UFC Vegas 65 it goes down this weekend, headlined by two heavyweights slugging it out between Derek Lewis and Sergey Spivak. But that is not the only major MMA promotion taking center stage this weekend. On Friday, Bellator 288 goes down in Chicago at the Wintrust Arena, headlined by two title fights, and my eyes and my money are set on the main event there, which is the culmination of the light heavyweight World Grand Prix put on by Bellator that started early last year. It's going to be going down once again here between champion Vadim Nemkov and Corey Anderson, who's going to be meeting for the second time. Now, Vadim Nemkov and Corey Anderson first threw down back in April, a relatively competitive fight in the early going, but then as that fight started to drag on, Corey Anderson's relentless pressure, wrestling, and pace started to catch up to Nemkov and was chipping away at him, eventually breaking him down. And he could have put him away had it not been for that inadvertent headbutt that occurred at the ending of the third round, which opened up a huge gash on Vadim Nemkov's eyebrow that forced the fight to be stopped and be ruled a no contest. Now here they are 7 months later trying to come to a resolution and a conclusion to, like I said, this tournament as well as this light heavyweight matchup. Vadim Nemkov has been ruling the division for a couple years now, but Corey Anderson seems to be the toughest test to date for him, and I think it's going to be a colossal mountain for him to climb, especially after what we saw in that first fight. Vadim Nemkov came in as a minus 170 favorite the first time they squared off, and now we see Corey Anderson as the minus 225 favorite going into the fight this Friday night. And you see why once you watch the first fight, right? Vadim Nemkov, solid all-around fighter, good striking, great kicks, which seemed to be his approach in that first round. And couple that with the boxing of Corey Anderson, it was a relatively close first round. And then in the second round, we saw the takedown of Corey Anderson start to pay off. And you start to realize that the MMA wrestling game is far in Corey Anderson's favor, given, like I said, his cardio, his pace, and his pressure. It's hard for a lot of people to keep up with. Now, when Corey Anderson was in the UFC, he had only had 3 finishes in his 10 UFC fights, but since coming to the Bellator cage, he's finished all 3 of his fights and was en route to finishing his 4th had it not been stopped by that inadvertent headbutt. Corey Anderson's pressure, pace, cardio, wrestling, all of that put together is too much for a lot of these light heavyweights to deal with, Vadim Nemkov included. So he's already beaten this guy before. Yeah, I mean, that's the way that I'm looking at it. He's already beaten him. And if anything has been taught to us by the Davison Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno trilogy, which we're actually going to be turning into a quadrilogy come January, is not every single fight plays out the same. But the difference in this matchup, in my opinion, is Corey Anderson's style. It's just so hard for a lot of guys to keep up with. And I don't think that Nemkov, outside of a Hail Mary round 1 KO, I don't really think he has a much of a shot to beat Corey Anderson in this fight. So I'm loading up on Corey Anderson going into this weekend. I know minus 225 for a lot of people might seem like a lot of chalk, but I'd probably bet him up to minus 300 considering how that first fight played out and how I expect this one to play out as well. So like I said, he's already beaten this guy before. What are we doing here? Lock him up. Corey Anderson to be the Bellator 288 lock of the night play. If you want a full breakdown on the entire card, check out my channel where I have a full Bellator 288 breakdown from fight 1 to fight 14. I cover every single fight and including UFC as well. You guys can check out my UFC Vegas 65 breakdown on my channel too. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Good luck on your bets this weekend. And let's keep this hot streak rolling. Corey Anderson and new light heavyweight champion. Book it.